Now we will start with addressing techniques for the IoT. Let us see the overview and motivation of this addressing techniques. IPv6 is newer version of network layer protocol that is designed to coexist with IPv4. You all are aware about that. Initially it was Internet Protocol version 4, but now IPv6, that is your Internet Protocol version 6, introduced into the network layer, which is the latest version of your IP address. IPv4 is now transformed to IPv6. IPv6 IPv6 is expected to replace IPv4, but that will not happen over a night. Yes, that is very true. That IPv6 is now slowly replacing your IPv4, but it is not going to happen within a single night. It will take much of time. It will take some time to replace your IPv4 into IPv6, and it may happen that after IPv6 we may see another version of IP address. But right now the IPv6 is into the picture. It was IPv4, so IPv6 is expected to replace the IPv4. Yes, slowly IPv4 is being replaced with your IPv6, but this this is not happening in a single night. It takes a lot of time to replace your IPv6 with your IPv4. Current IPv4 has been in use over 30 years. Whatever IPv4 we are using nowadays, it was established 30 years back. So before 30 years, the first time the IPv4 version was used, and now we are using IPv4 as well as IPv6. We may see that one device may have your IPv4 as well as it will have your IPv6 also. Slowly V4 will get reduced and V6 will be increased. But this IPv4 was in use before your what 30 years. IPv4 exhibits some challenges in supporting emerging demands for address space, high density mobility, multimedia, and strong security. So there are challenges in case of your IPv4. Those challenges are addressed in your IPv6. The very first challenge that IPv4 has is what? It requires the huge address space. We will see the address space comparison between IPv4 and IPv6 later in these slides. But the very first challenge related with your IPv4 was your what? Related with the address space. Then second one is it is related with your high density mobility. Means what? It is not easily available in the mobile format. Mobile format means what? It is not easily available from transferring from one device to another device or from one location to another location. It is in case of your IPv4, because mostly the IPv4 were in standalone PCs, which is very difficult to move from one location to another location. Then IPv4 was not supporting multimedia activities very effectively. Means what? We can see the video or we can listen the audio over the internet with the help of IPv4, but that IPv4 media will be, or IPv4 multimedia was very slow, or it was very what we can say, the data consuming. It was very time consuming. That's why there is a need of what? New solution in case of your IP multimedia. And of course the most important is your what? Strong security. IPv4 do not have the security as compared to your IPv6. So all these problems were addressed in case of your what? IPv6. IPv6 offers the potential of achieving number one, scalability, reachability, end-to-end internetworking, and quality of service, and commercial grade robustness. So these parameters are highly influence your IPv6, and IPv6 is very much popular nowadays in case of your networking community because of these features or because of these properties. So number one is scalability. IPv6 are easily scalable. They can easily scale up or scale down, or they can easily expand or shrink in terms of the size of the network. It is easily reachable. IP IPv6 is what? Easily reachable. That means what? One device can easily reach to another device with the help of your IPv6. There is a very good possibility of end-to-end internetworking. Two end nodes are interconnected with each other and they start communicating with each other with the help of IPv6. So this is what the end-to-end internetworking is. The quality of service in case of your IPv6 is what? Again, very much what we can say satisfactory as compared to your IPv6, IPv4. And last one is commercial grade robustness. The commercial use of IPv6 because of above properties is increased very much. IPv6 needed for current and emerging web services, data services, mobile video and IoT application. So these are the areas, or these are the what we can say these are the areas where IPv6 is very much popular. Number one, in IPv6 is much popular in case of your web services, in case of your data services, in case of your mobile video application, or we can say here multimedia technology, and the last and the most important is your IoT application. IPv6 is vastly very widely used in your what? IoT application. How it is used in IoT application? As you all are aware about that, IoT is nothing but Internet of Things. So every physical object now can be connected to the internet. And if you want to connect each and every physical object to the internet, it will require one IP address. So you can use IPv6 to all those things in your IoT application. That's why this IPv6 is very much popular in case of your IoT applications. Now we will see the address capabilities related with this IPv4 and IPv6. So we will see IPv4 addressing and its issues. Then the issues were solved with the help of your IPv6 address space. So let us see the IPv4 addressing and its issues. IPv4 addressing and its issues. Let us see. IPv4 theoretically allows up to 2 raised to 32 addresses based on 4-octet address space. Yes, you all are aware about that. The address space of your IPv4 is 2 raised to 32. Means it is based on your what? 4-octet address space. So these many unique values, which can be considered as a sequence of 256 8s, can be used. Means what? With the help of IPv4, you can connect these many devices to your network. Maximum these many devices can be connected to the network with the help of your IPv4 addressing space. Means what? 429 crore 49 lakh 67,296. These many unique values, means these many devices can be connected, and those are connected as a sequence of your 256 8s octet. That's why it is what? Your 8. Each 8 corresponds to this unique address value. So 8 into 256 will give you your this value. Public and globally unique addresses are assigned by IANA. There is one authority named as your Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. This authority will going to assign these numbers to each and every unique device which are available publicly and which are globally available. So whenever you are going to connect to the internet, you will get one of the number from this value, and that number will be assigned by this IANA. Then only you will be connected to your global internet with the help of your www. IP addresses are addresses of nodes. Each device on network must have unique address. You all are aware about that. If you are going to connect your device to the internet, it must have some unique address, and that unique address is nothing but your IP address. In IPv4, it is 32-bit. That is your 4-byte binary address used to identify host network ID. So whenever you wish to identify the host network ID, that can be identified with the help of your what? This 4-byte or with the help of 32-bit binary address. In case of your what? In case of IPv4. It is represented by the nomenclature A, B, C, D. These are the various classes of your IP addresses. Each of A, B, C and D being from 1 to 255. This is the example, or these are the examples of your various IP classes. The problem with this IPv4 is during 1980s, many public register addresses were allocated to firms and organizations without any consistent control. What happened in case of in 1980s? There were many public and register offices, or there were many public and register addresses, and these different addresses are allocated to different firms and organizations. So let's say there is one firm or there is one organization, and that firm or organization will have, let's say, 100 IP addresses, but all those hundreds were not utilized by the organization or by the firm. As a result, some organization have more address that they actually might need. So what happened in case of that organization? The capacity of the organization is, let's say, the 40, but the organization have 100 addresses. So the above 60 addresses will be of no use, or they will be unused. So this is the problem related with your what? IPv4. Also, not all IP addresses can be used due to the fragmentation described previously. Whatever we described previously in our previous slide, all the IP addresses were not used in case of your what? This IPv4 addressing technique. So one approach to issue would be renumbering and reallocation of the IP address space. So what will be the solution for those problems with that we discussed in the previous slide? The IANA has to renumber and they have to reallocate all the IPv4 addresses to all the organization and all the firms available globally all over the world, which is highly difficult. But this is not as simple as it appears, since it required worldwide coordination efforts. Yes, which is not possible. Renumbering and reallocation of all the IP addresses which are available in IPv4 is not possible. That's why IPv6 comes into the picture. That's why your IPv6 comes into the picture. This IPv6 addressing architecture is described in RFC 4291 in February 2006. So in 2006, the first time IPv6 was used. One of the major modification in addressing scheme in IPv6 is a change to the basic types of address and how they are utilized. So this is the basic change they made in case of your IPv6. The first change they made is they have changed the basic types of address and how those addresses can be utilized. This can be done in case of your IPv6. So let us see the address comparison between IPv4 and IPv6. So this is what the address comparison between your IPv4 and IPv6. On the left hand side, you can see that it is your IPv4, whereas on the right hand side, you can see that it is your IPv6. In case of your IPv4, IPv4 will range from your, let's say, 000 to 127.0.1, and it will going to vary in between like this. It can be like this, it can be like this in between your different classes. They are limited to this value up to 255.255.255.255 in case of your broadcast. And in case of your unicast, it is an ID for an interface that can be used. Unicast means what? We will see what is unicast, broadcast, multicast in upcoming slides. So in case of your IPv4, the structure of your IP address will be like this. In case of your IPv6, the structure will be, in IPv4 it is separated with dot, but in case of your IPv6 it is separated with your colon like this. And we will see what is unicast, multicast, anycast in detail in upcoming slides. Now let us see the IPv6 address space. So what is unicast? Unicast means what? Send to this one specific address. Uni means single and cast means device. So one device will going to send the data to only a specific device. Whereas multicast means what? Send to every member of this specific group. Multicast means what? We are going to send to the everyone on the group. And next one is your anycast. Send to any one member of this specific group. Unicast means directly sending to that person. Multicast means sending to everyone from that group. And anycast means what? Sending any member from that particular group. Typically, the transmission occurs to closest member of the group. In case of your anycast, the communication will take place between the sender and the closest member. Whichever is available at the close, it is communicated to the closest member. Generally, one interpret anycast to mean send to the closest member of this specific group. So anycast can be either sent to any one member or it can be sent to the closest member of the specific group. So this is the structure of your unicast. In case of unicast, you can see that the message is originating from the source. These are the destinations, and unicast will going to send to the particular, to the specific member. So there is A, B, C. So A will go to this device, B will go to this device, and C will go to this specific device. That means what? One message will going to pass to the specific user. This is source and this is destination. I want to send A, B, and C. Here you can observe that this source will going to send A to this, B will be sent to this, and C will be sent to this. It's not like that A and B is going to send to this, B and C is going to send this, B and C will go into this device. Not like this. 3 messages to 3 different users. This is your unicast. Then second one is your multicast. Multicast means what? The same thing will be sent to your each and every thing. I have one message A, that one message will send to this device also, and this device also. So multicast means what? The message will going to send to each and every member of that particular group. So in this group, these are the members and this message will going to send to each and everyone. Whereas the third one is your what? Unicast. Anycast. Please ignore this name. The name is your anycast, and anycast will going to send this message to the closest member. So in case of this, the closest member is your 3. Another one is your, let's say there is a 2 and there is 1. So these are your 1, 2 and 3. And the closest member is your what? 3. So the message will send to 3 from the source because 3 is closest to your what? Source. This is your anycast is. Note, device 1 and 2 are part of the same group. Why is it so? Because 1 and 2 are also the part of the group where 3 is there. This is the IP version and this is the size of address space. In case of IPv4, IPv4 is of 32-bit, which allows 2 raised to 32 or these many possible addresses. In case of your IPv6, IPv6 is of 128-bit, which allows for 2 raised to 128, or it will going to allow these many possible addresses. If anyone can read this, you can read. These many devices can be connected to the network with the help of your IPv6.